Commanders, it's me, your big positive geek. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining me. Today we've got two quick topics to cover, so let's get right into it. Alright, so first up we have this new Age of Annihilus, and with the new Age of Annihilus has come an update on my farming routine. I've made a few shifts in how I spend my time, my energy, and importantly, my power cores each day, and I want to share this with you. Right now, I'm prioritizing training materials. The reason for this is simple. At current, training materials for me are a bottleneck. I am currently working on not only building up the latest teams coming to the game, but I'm also working on bringing all my post-Ares new stat meta characters to level 105, prioritizing firstly the characters that I am going to take to unlock Professor X. So let's walk you through what I do on a daily basis within the game. Now I've already done this today, so I can't show you, but what I normally would do, I will go into the campaign section, I will go to the Nexus difficulty hard. And you will see here, I have a nice little surplus of campaign energy here. And that is because I've been doing this strategy pretty much since I hit Commander level 105. We've had no real leaderboard events that have required using campaign energy to get anywhere, to get anything good. And so I've really had no need to flush this stash of campaign energy. So what do I do each and every day? Well, I come into the Nexus hard campaign, and the first node I farm is this Nexus hard mode 5.9, which is Infinity War Thor, and that has the training orb fragments on it. We then go to Nexus hard mode 3.9 or Union Jack if you're looking for a character for this, and then we go to Absorbing Man, which is Nexus hard mode 1.9, sorry. And again, we get the training orb fragments from here. And then because we're farming training orb fragments, we need to go to the Villains United hard campaign, and we come in here, and Villains hard 7.6 has Black Panther 1 million or 1 mm and some training modules on it, or some training orb fragments. And node 6.6 on Villains hard, which is Viv Vision, again has some training orb fragments. Now that costs a grand total of 600 energy every single day. And why is 600 energy important? Well, it is because your daily objectives require you as an optional to do 600 campaign energy. Likewise with Isotope 8 energy, I will flip-flop from day to day between chapter 1 and chapter 2. Today I've done chapter 1. So to show you what I've done today, I will farm chapter 1 110. So any of these nodes that have this big blue ISO ion on it, these are the ones that I farm in completion for these ones. So I do the full rotation on these, and the same on 1.7, and the same on 1.4. So what I'll do, I'll then go to one of the other nodes, and I will find a crystal that I am below 1500 on, and I will farm that 4 times. So I'll do the auto 3 and the auto 1. That gives me a grand total of 408 Isotope 8 energy spent. And again, that is important because your daily objectives as an optional requires you to spend 400 Isotope 8 energy. Then I would go and claim all my objectives once I've done that, all my daily objectives. And then I would come in and I would do my power core refreshes. And you can see here I've done this today. So I do all my 50s on my campaign energy. And normally before the Age of Annihilus, I would have done all my 50s on my ISO 8 campaign energy. However, since the Age of Annihilus has started, I have changed my farming strategy. So I am now only doing the free refresh pack, which you get daily from the daily objectives. I'm only doing that plus as a refresh, basically. Well, then of a normal day, I would go to the events, and I would go to the showcases that are running. And again, I'm looking at the training orb fragments. So in this case, in the Vigilante Showcase, we're looking at Act 2. And we are looking to come in here and do the Story 1-5, which again has the Training Orb fragments. Then I would go into the Thunderbolt Showcase. And unfortunately, at the moment, all we've got is Victoria Handout. So we haven't got Act 2 open. So we are having to farm the Gold Orb nodes from this one. But that's not a problem. But what is really important now is this Enter the Age of Annihilus campaign. Now, if we go into this one, you'll see there are 9 nodes on this. And each of these nodes has a different reward on it. And what is really important is node, for me anyway, is node 1-1, which has these Training Orb fragments on it. It also has a guaranteed L3 training modules on it as well. And node 1-6, which again has the Training Orb fragments on it. And you will see here today, I have cleared both of those. So what I've done, I have spent my 50 core refreshes that I would usually do on the Isotope 8 campaign, which is usually 150 cores plus an extra 50, because power cores are useful and need to be used. And I have used that to farm these nodes to the fullest. And then what I am farming after that, any energy I get after that, I am farming these Ability Orb fragments. That's right. These are, again, very, very good. And for every one of these, you are going to get an Ability Orb, which is 3 T4s, which might not sound like a lot. But if you're able to farm this 10 times, and get 1 Ability Orb, that's an extra 3 T4s every single day that you are getting. Now, I want to be clear, this approach works for me based on where I'm at in the game. If you're low on gold or ISO 8 or character shards instead, your strategy might need to be different. There's more than one right answer here. Just focus on building towards your own bottleneck. But if you're struggling with training materials like I am, this path might really help. And now for our second topic, a quick correction and an update from Monday's video. Now on Monday, I shared my first impressions of the Intel store. And after reading the latest blog last night, I want to revise some of what I said. Now in the Monday video, I advised you that the training modules were a little expensive. I advised you that the T4 ability materials were a bit expensive, but I want to tell you now that I was actually wrong. After Monday's video, what I did, I went and did a little bit of maths. I went and started working out how much intel we're going to get. And I want to go to that and show you something a second. Now, one thing that we had from the developers, and it was in a blog, and it was in the video that RJ did with Pathfinder, was where he said that Intel is not going to be purchasable. You are going to get Intel from daily play.
Awesome. Well, you talked about a new seasonal currency. So where are you going to be earning this seasonal currency from?
Yeah, so the seasonal currency, first and foremost, is through engagement only. We won't be selling this currency in any way, shape, or form. You will be able to go through what we call kind of the core loop, or a lot of the events inside of the command center, or global milestones, or just playing the normal core modes, right? Playing a raid, playing war, playing arena, playing cosmic crucible. You will start to earn this currency. And then throughout the chapter, as you're earning that currency, the shop is also going to be improving because new items will constantly be going into the shop. So the value of the shop itself from, say, month 1 of the start of a chapter is going to be great value, but by month 3, there's going to be even more exciting items inside of that shop for you to be able to purchase from.
Now, if we look at this command center objective and we look at the Harbinger week 1, we'll see here that we have a mission to do, a weekly mission to gather intel. Now, this gather intel actually occurs 3 times. We've got one here, look, where we're looking to gather 100,000 intel. We've got another one here where we're looking to gather 200,000 intel, sorry. And we've got another one here where we are looking to gather 300,000 intel. And you'll see I have completed these all with 4 days and 3 hours still to go. Now, remember, I'm completely free to play. I don't spend on the game. And even if I did spend on the game, there is nowhere you can buy Intel to. It's not available in the shops. So this, to me, means that they think that 300,000 Intel for an engaged player is a achievable amount of Intel to gather during a week. Okay, so first off, I want to take us back all the way to April the 9th and the Intel store blog. And we can also have a look at what RJ said in the video that came out with this at the same time. So the Age of Annihilus not only delivers an epic new storyline and character unlock experience, it also introduces a significant evolution to Marvel Strike Force, simplified stores and currencies to enhance your gameplay. We've navigated a vast array of campaigns. So here they're going into telling you about what has happened in the past. Basically, there has been a number of game modes, all of which have had a store available with them. And because there is so many stores and we earn so much currency from these game modes, they haven't been able to keep those stores up to date well enough that they can put anything meaningful in them, because as players, we have accumulated, especially the long-time players, the players that have played this game for 7 years, they have accumulated so much of this currency that anything new that is put into the store, they can just instantly buy up like that. So the solution they are doing is to simplify the game's economy by focusing each chapter on one main currency. And in chapter 1, the Age of Annihilus, it is Intel. And we are introducing a new store packed with high value items that you want. So this is the Intel store. And they go on a little bit here to talk about what it is. So each chapter is going to have its own special store. Chapter 1 being called the Intel store. These stores are similar to the monthly and seasonal event stores you've seen before. The difference, each store is Nick Fury's personal supply cache to help you in the battles against to come against Annihilus. So we're going to have in this new store and the Intel store, and we've seen this, new character shards, valuable crimson gear, read gear tier 20, purple ISO 8, L4 training modules, and other major resources. Additionally, all new characters will be available in this store at specific points throughout the chapter, making them unlockable and more powerful sooner than ever before. That means you can climb the ranks in your favorite game mode and dictate play with a powerful roster sooner than ever before. We know you want more agency in how you develop your roster, and the Intel store will be one of the best ways to unlock and power up the newest squads. And then it goes on to talk about the Intel, but the very important thing about the Intel here, the best part, you'll earn Intel just by playing the game. No purchase necessary. So that's come from their own mouth. Participating in events, yeah, using the command center, well, we've been doing that and we've been getting intel for that. Battling in game modes and collecting milestones are several of the major ways you will earn intel, with more opportunities arriving in the future. Well, we've had a calendar, we've had intel in the Twitch drops, so there is loads and loads and loads and loads of ways of getting intel. The more you play each week, the more intel you earn for bigger roster upgrades. It is important to note that at the end of every chapter, all your leftover or unspent intel will be converted to a legacy currency before the cycle begins again. We'll let you know beforehand when this happens, with several reminders in the blogs leading up to the conversion. So stay tuned for those dates. Remember, the chapters last about 3 months, so keep that in mind while spending your hard-earned intel. And then they go on to recap it, basically, that the major items are now going to be live in the Intel store. Each chapter uses a new currency, and Intel will reset at the end of chapter 1. In chapter 2, a new store will launch with its own unique credits. Cool. Then they go on to talk about what they're going to be doing with the old currencies and the old shops, which they're still in the process of doing. So we're not going to go through all of this. I'll leave you guys to read this one. I'll leave this blog again linked in the description down below. Then on April the 24th, we had this blog, a new age currency conversion and Intel store. And this basically went on to tell us about the currency conversion, a date for when the currency conversion is going to happen, which is May the 22nd. So mark that on your calendars. And this currency conversion is converting all the old legacy currencies. So Blitz credits, gear credits, arena credits, raid credits, elite raid credits, war credits, elite war credits, cosmic crucible credits, and elite cosmic crucible credits. All of these currencies are going to get changed into shop credits, and eventually all these stores will be collapsed into one new shop, one legacy shop. It's the easiest way to explain this. So all those game modes that you have played in and earned all this legacy currency are going to be changed over to shop currency, and those stores will be amalgamated together to make a legacy shop. And here they went on to the additional transitions, which is basically saying how they are going to do the deal with all the offers that they've got out that offers currency for those game modes, any sort of store offers, all that sort of stuff, time heist offers, all of those things, and how they're going to change them. And eventually on May the 22nd, when the currency conversion happens, the achievements for spending Blitz, Arena, and Raid credits will also be removed from the game, and new achievements will take their place at a later date. So that is in the achievement section. And I'm really hoping that when they go into this achievement section of the game and they overhaul this part of the achievements, that they overhaul the entire achievements as well. They say about a global milestone event here, which gives you extra intel. And then they go on to mention about the intel store items and give us a little bit more detail. So new character shards, diamonds for top tier characters, which we haven't seen these yet in the intel store. Gear 19 and 20, L4 training modules, purple ISO, and T4 ability materials, which we've seen all of these things, along with the brand, well, it says there, brand new character shards. We have that already in the store. And that store went live on Monday. Now on Monday, a lot of us content creators went through the new Intel store, and we also went through to look at what had changed. And a lot of people were disappointed that some game modes like Cosmic Crucible, like the raid season rewards and the war rewards were not changed. They were still on the old legacy currencies at that point. So they released a blog yesterday on May the 7th called Additional Details on the Intel Store and Currency Conversion. Commanders, in a recent blog, we shared a snapshot of important upcoming dates for the currency conversion process. We want to share additional dates and details you should be aware of to help you manage your resources as the Intel store rolls out, leading up to the currency conversion day. We stated that from May 1st to May 21st, the sources of several store currencies will change to Intel. We have finalized the details of these dates, which you can see below. So on May the 11th, the raid season rewards will change. And that makes sense because that is this Sunday when a new raid season starts, which tells you why they haven't changed the currency in the raid season rewards yet, because we are currently in the middle of a raid season. May the 13th, which is next Tuesday. So after the Cosmic Crucible season finishes, this last season, season 14 finishes, there will be the Cosmic Crucible Ultimate 16 season rewards, and the Cosmic Crucible League and Knockout rewards will all change. Again, we are still in a Cosmic Crucible season. That is the whole reason why the currencies haven't changed. May the 18th, which is the following Sunday, so not this Sunday coming up, but the Sunday after, the War Season rewards will change. Why is that? Because the war season was ongoing. It started on the Sunday and the Intel store didn't open until the Monday. So the war season was already underway. May the 19th, we have the War League and Knockout rewards, and that will fall in line with the first wars of the war season. May the 21st, we will have the Cosmic Crucible Season 15 rewards, because that is when Cosmic Crucible Season 15 is going to start. And finally, the Arena rewards. So they are letting us earn Arena credits right up until pretty much the final day before the conversion. Currency conversion day occurs on the 22nd of May. There will be a few additional changes that will be made. Crimson Gear raid orbs will no longer be purchasable using Elite Raid credits. You can still use Elite Raid credits to purchase these orbs before the conversion happens. Note, you can still earn these orbs from raids, and these orbs will remain visible in the raid store, but they will not be purchasable with Intel at this location. Only the orbs in the Intel store can be purchased using Intel. We want to avoid players accidentally purchasing these orbs using Intel while opening orbs in the raid store. Arena orbs will be removed entirely from the game. Now, all of this section here, this currency conversion day section, has seen some pushback from the community, and there are a lot of creators out there who are claiming the sky is falling, or that this is a bad change. The arena orbs will be removed from the game entirely. You can still purchase these orbs with arena credits before the conversion happens. Initially, we had planned to move them to the Intel store, but we decided it would be best not to encourage players to use Intel on these orbs. The character shards available in this orb can be obtained in the arena store using shop credits. And that's because they know that this arena orb is rubbish. They have the data. They will be shown how many people actually pull stuff from the arena orb. And I bet you'll find that that is very, very few. This was the big contentious one. We are removing L4 training modules from the arena store. You may have already noticed that you can obtain L4 training modules using Intel in the Intel store. L3 training modules will remain in the arena store. And I bet you the L3 training modules will also still be in the legacy shop when they do that changeover. And you can continue to obtain L4 training modules using arena credits before the conversion happens. And in this one here, war credits and elite war credits purchasable in the war store using alliance credits will be removed. A new slot of shop credits purchasable using alliance credits will be added to replace those. Now, I don't know how many people actually buy war credits and elite war credits using the alliance credits. And again, what I want to do, I want to offer you a slightly different perspective on all of this. So we're going to hop back into the game here and let's take a look in the supply stores. So here we have the Intel store. We're not going to take a look at that one yet. We're going to take a look at the arena store and the orbs. Now, an arena orb generally costs you 800 arena credits. And if we look here, we can have a look at what the rewards are. So in the center pillar, you have a pretty much a 90% chance of getting a character drop. Either 14 shards or 10 shards of pretty much, for a lot of people, old characters. These are characters who really are no longer meta characters. You've got Gambit there, okay, you could argue that. Dakin, you could argue him. Peter B. Parker, again, we've just got the Vigilante team come out, so he is pretty much on the bench again. Same with Spider-Man Noir. And the rest of these characters are all on the bench. We go up to the other rewards, which is a grand total of 10%, and we have the chance to get 14 shards of Sentinel, or a 3% chance to get 20 shards of Sentinel. And that's cool. New stat meta character. Really, really good for the Orcus team. Left and right pillar are very, very similar. They have a gear drop, a 72% chance of getting some purple gear. Now, if you're very, very low on in the game, this could be useful for you. You have a 15% chance on each pillar, so let's call that a 30% chance in the entire orb of getting some purple training materials, either 25 or 50. And then you have a 9% chance of some T3 ability materials and a 4% chance of getting some Elite 4 credits. And that's the same on the right pillar as it is on the left pillar. But mainly from this, you are going to get a gear drop of purple gear. And so that really, when you compare this to the fact that you can buy training modules in the arena store for 800 arena credits. So for the cost of an arena orb, you can buy yourself your training modules right off the bat, L4s and L3s. And for the big characters, you can buy 5 shards for 975, guaranteeing that you are going to get that character that you want. So that is the smarter way to farm the arena store, and will still probably be the smarter way to farm the new legacy shop. So now we're going to take a look at the raid store, and you'll see here we have these elite raid credits. Now I have racked up as an end game player 1 million elite raid credits, and that is because the only thing that they were useful for was for buying the awakened ability materials, and we used to save them in the hopes that a new awakened ability material would come into this raid store, and that never ever happened. But look, even though I could convert this into these Crimson Gear raid orbs, I haven't. And I bet if we look at other people, if you were to look at your own account, you probably haven't, until it was mentioned last night, used these elite raid credits to purchase the Crimson Gear raid orbs. We get a lot of this just from playing the game, so you don't really ever use this. This has been a dead currency for ages. Next up, we have the Alliance credits. You'll see here I have 700,000 Alliance credits available. And I want to give a big shout out to Dorky Dad, because this was one thing in his video that I saw about this Intel store, this blog, that I thought was actually a really good idea. And that is spending your Alliance credits on these Elite 4 credits, not the Elite War credits, not the War credits, but spending them on these Elite 4 credits, because what you can do over a period of time, and hopefully this option to buy Elite 4 credits with your Alliance credits will continue when the new shop comes out. But what you can do with this, you can buy these Elite 4 credits, which will make Elite 4 orbs, which then you can trickle down slowly but surely into Elite 7 orbs, which you can then trickle into diamonds, which will then allow you to, or silver diamond credits, which will then allow you to buy characters for silver diamonds. So again, a really good use of your Elite War, your Alliance credits there. And those things aren't getting converted over when the conversion happens. It's only these Elite War credits and these War credits here. Now, the big subject of contention has been the L4 training modules. And for this, I am going to need to take you across to one of my spreadsheets. Okay, so after Monday's video I recorded, I thought to myself, I really need to do my due diligence here. I need to look at the data myself. So the first thing I did was I started to look at how much intel we were going to get daily and weekly from the game modes that currently have intel in them, which is the raid nodes themselves and the raid completions. We also had some from the character blitz from this week in the milestones themselves for the character blitz. And so we started doing that. And then I thought, do you know what, actually? I went back and read the blogs, and I read one thing in the blog that really stood out to me. And that is the fact that intel will only be earned through engagement and gameplay. And currently in the command center, as we saw earlier, there is a weekly milestone for the monthly event, which involves gathering intel. And it has 3 levels, 100,000, 200,000 and 300,000. And so Scopely obviously believe there that 300,000 intel is going to be achievable for most players. So when we're talking about these L4 training modules, we need to look at how much arena credits we earn per day and per week. So what I did here, I have taken this based on an end game player who is going to have Odin. They are going to have Mephisto. They're going to have all the characters that are going to allow them to fight for the top 10 in their arena shard. And what I've done, I've basically taken an average of the amount of arena credits based on being in the top 10. And that average comes out at 2,825 arena credits. Now we know we are able weekly to get 300,000 intel. That is what Scopely have said. They've put that in black and white there in the event. So if we take that value of intel, 300,000, and we take our 2,825 arena credits that we get per day, and we add in the 1,000 arena credits that we get from the daily objectives, giving us 3,825 arena credits a day. Times that by 7, that is going to give us our weekly arena credits of 26,775 arena credits. Now, if we divide the intel by the arena credits, we can see that the ratio of intel to arena credits is 11.2. So we're earning 11 intel for every single arena credit. And this is how we've got to look at this. We've got to look at it based on the value of what the thing costs currently in the old currency compared to what it costs in the intel currency. So first off, you need to know what you are earning from that game mode per week to be able to convert that into a ratio of intel. So we have 11.2 intel per arena credit that we would generally earn over a course of a week. Let's take a look at the L4 training module. So the intel cost of 20 L4 training modules is 7,200. The arena credit cost of 20 L4 training modules is 800 arena credits. Now, I'm not including the 60s on this because that is multiplicative. I will get that word out properly. Multiplicative. That is a factor of. So you get 60 for 3 times the amount you get cost of 20, and the same goes for in the Intel store. So it's 2,400 arena credits for the 60 L4 training modules, and it is 21,600 intel for the 60 training modules, L4 training modules in the Intel store. But let's divide the arena cost by the Intel cost, and you'll see that it's actually only 9 to 1. Now we're earning 11 to 1, so 9 to 1 to 11 to 1 is actually cheaper. So it's cheaper in Intel to buy the L4 training modules from the Intel store than it is in its respective currency for what you can earn. Now, I did also start going down the character shard route here. And again, this, as I get the data in, I'm going to be looking at this even more finely. Now, initially, I did think this was a bit bad. The arena costs 975 credits to buy a brand new character. The Intel store is costing you 12,500 intel, and that gives you a ratio of 12.82. For argument's sake, we'll call that 13. We'll round it up. But we need to remember this. The character that is available in the arena store, the newest character that is available in the arena store is Sentinel. This is a character that is 8 months old. He was released on the 3rd of September 2024. And if you want to take the free-to-play release date, he was released on the 16th of September 2024. Now, if we were to take what we're getting in the Intel store, we're getting Hitmonkey, we're getting Silver Sable, we're getting Daredevil Modern. All of these characters are under 1 month old, or just over 1 month old if you're taking Daredevil Modern, with his initial release being on the 1st of April. We've got Havoc, Howard the Duck. These guys, all of them were available in March this year. So that's 2 months. And then we have Patriot, Falcon, and Peggy Carter. All of those characters were the April releases. That is only 3 months ago. So 3-month-old characters we now have access to in that Intel store. And you know, and I know, that if they had put those characters into somewhere like the Arena store at the rate they're putting it into the Intel store, the cost in Arena credits would have been astronomical to stop people from being able to buy those characters up just like that. They would have had to do that. So overall, I think if we were to have had Hitmonkey, Silver Sable, and Daredevil Modern go into the Arena store, they would have been at a much higher inflated cost than 975 Arena credits. And so you will see that I have actually bought some L4 training modules from here because, as I said at the start of the video, L4 training modules, or training modules in general, are one of the bottlenecks that I am facing. The other bottleneck I am facing currently is the G20 mini uniques to get into Professor Xavier. But at the moment, I am focusing on the section that I am currently trying to enter, which is the city section. So I am currently farming these skill ones right here, which has been landing quite nicely for me. And so the bottom line of this is don't panic. Be smart with your Intel shopping. Let's give it another week or two before judging the system fully. If this video has helped you out, hit that like button, subscribe for more strategy and sanity in Marvel Strike Force, and as always, stay positive.